You're in the red zone with Fox 66 News at 10 Friday Night Football. Now, here's Tom Eschen and Corey Kopic with all of tonight's big game action.
Well, I'll check my fake watch. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday Morning Football. I'm Tom Eschen.
And I'm Corey Kopic. 2 weeks left in the regular season, and some teams are battling for their playoff lives tonight.
Much like the Kansas City Royals tonight,
right.
Corey. They got the big win. In order to qualify these teams, the high school teams, for the playoffs, most teams need 6 wins with a 9-game schedule.
We'll begin with 2 4-win teams, meaning a loss and they're out, a win, and they're still alive.
All right.
We're going to kick it off in the Tri-Valley East Birch Run at Essexville Garber tonight. First quarter, the Dukes get on the board first. Ben Van Sumeren
that was quick.
Breaks loose for a 40-yard touchdown. Essexville Garber leads 6-0. They opt to go for 2. They turn and hand it to Miles McFarland, who puts his head down and muscles into the end zone to give the Dukes the 8-0 lead. However, Birch Run scores 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Panthers win it 21-15.
Exciting finish there. Corunna and Lake Fenton Blue Devils needing a win to stay alive for the playoff hunt. Here we go, the first quarter on 2nd and 18. Quarterback Trent Hilger, he's good, but he gets intercepted by Corunna's Corey Mort for 12 yards. And he brings it back within Lake Fenton territory. 4 plays later, 4th and 5 on the 30. Jared Fatal throws 20 yards downfield. He gets picked off. Chris Bell, he goes 40 yards with this one. He just keeps going.
He's got some good blocking.
That was a nice block.
Yeah.
He did not get the block in the back there. Nice. 3rd down and 3, 38. Hilger this time fakes, hands the hands off, and runs it for himself.
He's big.
Wasn't enough, though. Corunna wins 35-28. Lake Fenton will not make the playoffs. And speaking of games with playoff implications, that brings us to our game of the week.
This one features 2 5-win teams, meaning if they win, they're in.
And it's in the thumb. Unionville-Siebelring at 5-2, traveling to Cass City, also at 5-2.
Here we go. So if they win, they're in. First quarter, Nick Perry. Actually, the crowd was all bundled up in the thumb tonight. It was cold.
Wind chills in the 30s.
Here we go in the first quarter. Nick Perry takes the toss, and he's going to take it in from 6 yards out. It's 7-0 Redhawks, just like that. Second quarter, Sawyer Cuthrell breaks free, and it's off to the races. Sawyer with his choppy little legs there. Cass City goes up 14-0. Then the Redhawks are standing at the goal line. They punch it in here as well. They would go on to blow out Unionville-Siebelring 49-0.
Our kids really stepped up tonight. Our defense, outstanding effort. I know they had some guys banged up, but in the same boat, so did we. So it was just a great effort. You know, the kids worked hard all week, and when you come prepared, good things happen. That happened for us tonight.
Cass City can clinch home field with a win next week. US needs a win next week to qualify.
There we go. Let's warm everybody up with some nachos. Look at that cheese and the cold night. Frankenmuth hosting Caro. We go to the second quarter, 14-0 Eagles. Caro moving the ball down the field a little bit here. Devin Hodder to Tyler Deming. That gets into Frankenmuth territory. He just keeps on rumbling, stumbling, and he's there. But is there any fumbling? As there's a weird play here.
There is some
Caro,
fumbling.
it looks like Frankenmuth gets it. Ball squirts out. It was cold, you know. But a couple plays later, Hodder over the middle, picked off by Jared Davis. The cheerleaders got excited about that one. Frankenmuth would take a 21-0 lead. The Eagles stay unbeaten, winning 48-6. Other scores now. Ithaca beating Carleton 58-0, and then Carmen and Ainsworth gave Lapeer a game. 21-14, Lapeer escapes.
Spoiler alert, Flushing and Fenton 34-28. Fenton. Hamady loses to New Lothrop 49-0.
We might see how Fenton won that game a little bit later on. There's some excitement. There's more high school action to come, but there's a big game tomorrow, Corey.
There is?
Yes, there is. As those fans from the band are excited, we'll have much more high school action and some Michigan State as Friday Night Football rolls on.
Hi, we're the Flushing Raiders. You're watching Friday Night Football on Fox 66.
Fox 66 News at 10 Friday Night Football.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football on Fox 66. Chris Wilson standing by, joining us in just a moment, but more elimination games to come on this morning.
That's right, those 4-win teams playing for their lives this week. Let's go to the Flint Metro Conference now. It was senior night as Swartz Creek faced off with Holly. Halfway through the first quarter, Holly gets on the board first. This is Adam Tooley busting loose. He goes 60 yards for the touchdown, and Holly takes the early 7-0 lead. Later in the same quarter, it's the big man now, Paris Partee. He's a big dude.
And having a party.
Rumbling,
good name.
Having a party. Rumbling up the middle for another Holly touchdown. It's 14-0 Broncos. Swartz Creek answers back early in the second quarter. Cameron Hill from the shotgun hooks up with Brett Perro. Nice pitch and catch, cutting the Holly lead to 7. However, Holly would go on to win 21-13.
Hey, Fenton and Flushing. Might have seen this one before. They actually play these games at the elementary school, in case you weren't wondering. You didn't know that tonight. Towards the end of the third quarter, 1st and 10, there's Garrett Oginski faking the handoff, 36 yards to the touchdown. That cuts the Fenton lead to just 7 points. Later on, 1st and 10 on the 28, Fenton trying to get that cushion back. Josh Sonarto decides to also fake the handoff. He's tackled at the 1. 1st and goal, he would hand off to Dylan Crankshaw for the touchdown. Fenton pulls it out. Good rivalry game, though, 34-28. And other scores, Sandusky beats Memphis 54-12. Beecher falls to Montrose 7-6. Montrose playing for their lives there.
Sanford Meridian dumps Houghton Lake 50-21. It was Ortonville Brandon doubling up Kersley 42-21. It's time to look at the biggest game in the state in Wilson's Wisdom right now. Chris Wilson joins Tom Eschen now in studio. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Corey. We'll get it right to it with Chris Wilson now for our Wilson's Wisdom, as you just mentioned. Michigan State, Chris.
Right.
Let's go over some of the advantages, disadvantages at this point. We'll start with the quarterbacks. You got Jake Rudock's been managing the game pretty well. Then you got Connor Cook from Michigan State. Who's got the advantage there? I think I know what you're going to say.
Michigan State has the advantage at quarterback.
Yeah.
He's pulled out some great wins late in the game against teams like Rutgers, which I don't want to say is sad, no disrespect to Rutgers, but, you know, we haven't stepped into the bulk of our schedule yet.
Yeah, and you think about the quarterbacks that Michigan's played, that defense, 3 straight shutouts, they haven't really played a senior quarterback like Connor Cook since week 1, right? Does that make a difference as a defender?
Absolutely, and if you cannot tell by my attire, I have switched who I think will win. I'm rooting for Michigan State, but I think because those 3 shutouts in a row, a shutout is hard to do no matter how good you are. Those guys are focused, and they're playing in the big house too. That's another advantage.
That's a huge advantage there. And you are a defensive end. As a defensive end, and you see some of the injured linemen. You know, Michigan State has Jack Conklin coming back. Jack Allen's going to be out. You know they've been banged up. How does that play into your psyche?
Well, I'm licking my chops as a defensive person. Anytime I'm yelling at the guy, I'm going to make sure he knows what he's doing. I'm watching him every play to see if he's trying to figure out from his teammate what he needs to do. Maybe I can get a hint on if it's a run pass, which way the ball is going. So it's definitely an advantage for Michigan.
Something Chris Wormley, who's been great on the defensive line for Michigan, probably will try to take advantage of. And you think about the atmosphere of this game.
Yes.
You know, what's the feeling in the locker room for? I guess we'll start with Michigan. You know, what do you think they're thinking in the locker room before the game?
They have all the momentum.
Yeah.
They have all the momentum. Earlier in the season, they weren't even ranked.
Right.
And now they're making plays. They, like you said, 3 straight shutouts. They're ranked now. They're playing in the big house, and all the pressure is on Michigan State. Michigan State has to stay calm, and they have to come out and perform, but they have to do it within the reins of the defense and the offense, and not put on too much pressure, but still be able to put on a good performance.
Do you think there is some pressure on Michigan State in the locker room?
Absolutely.
Do they have the underdog role, do you think?
They should.
Are they playing with that chip on their shoulder?
We'll see. We'll find out. They need to.
So you're picking Michigan. What's the final score?
Michigan 21-10.
All right. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us today. Let's go back to Corey.
19th ranked Saginaw Valley State took on Ohio Dominican in men's soccer this afternoon. First half, SVSU leads 1-0, and their goaltender Alex Bolinick comes up with a huge save to keep it that way. 3 minutes later, Jordan Koch puts a move on the defender, watch this, and then rips a shot, but Justin Alexander is in perfect position to make the save. It remains 1-0. At the 25-17 mark, Tyler Channel sneaks this shot by Alexander for his first goal of the game. That put the Cardinals on top 2-0. They were going to win 3-1.
Let's go about half an hour to the west. The Northwood University Timberwolves taking on Lake Erie this afternoon. Timberwolves lead 1-0 in the second half. James DeCosmo tries to pop that one, but he needed a little more oomph. Remains 1-0. Next time down the field, Northwood with the corner. Michael and Koviak say, now this is how you score a header. His shot finds the back of the net. The Timberwolves improved to 11-1 on the season. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. For Corey Kopic, Chris Wilson, and the rest of the Friday Night Football crew, I'm Tom Eschen.